thank you so much for having me. This is like a very beautiful venue and something that I'm not very used to because I'm a stand-up comic. One of my many jobs is being a stand-up comedian, so as I'm sure you can imagine, I don't normally play in beautiful places like this with really lovely audiences like yourself, to be honest. And you can heckle all you like. I'll win. No.
Right then.
I can see you folded your arms. You folded your arms ready. I love it. But no, it's so lovely to be here, and welcome to the songwriting and ukulele workshop. This is the third venue that we've been in this week, and basically what we wanted to do with this workshop is pretty much give the message that you can pick up a ukulele and sing regardless of your where you've been before. If you've never picked one up before, it's honestly like the most accessible instrument, and I truly believe that. I'm completely self-taught, and it was something that I picked up a lot later on in life. And I think sometimes in the music industry or in the performance industry or anything like that, it can sometimes feel quite elitist, or it can sometimes feel like you're not part of the club or anything like that. And I truly believe that songwriting and singing and ukulele playing together is actually quite simple. It's about finding a message that you are passionate about and spreading it to the world. However that makes you feel, to one person, to yourself, as long as you're feeling great about it and it's something that you're passionate about, I truly believe that you need to spread it. So a little bit about me. So I've been an Ortega artist since January, which is something that I'm still sort of pinching myself. As you can see, I'm a very normal lass from Essex. So to be sat here sort of going to, this is how I write songs and everything, I have massive imposter syndrome, and I'll always say that, and I think that's quite a good thing, to be honest, because, you know, it just goes to show that anyone can do it, right? I'm playing this, which is the 30th anniversary ukulele, which, have you all signed up? Oh yes, I bet you signed up twice. Yeah. I love it. And this is honestly such a beautiful instrument to play. I feel very lucky every single time. I play this one, and I also play the Ghost, the blue one up the top. Oh, I love the Ghost song. I feel like an absolute country rock star when I play that. And so this one's wild though. I don't know whether you noticed. This is electrically charged. No batteries needed. USB-C, like you're charging an iPhone. It's insane. And how many hours charge does it have? 8 hours. So you charge it for 10 minutes, and the charge lasts for 8 hours. That's all the technical stuff I know, so I've got that out of the way. I started writing songs probably in my mid-20s. I've got a little song to start off with to sort of introduce who I am and my story. So. Little girl with a dream, quiet, she did sing. Used to sing in her room every day, whilst her sister played Mystique, all other late 90s beats. To cheesy show tunes she would play every day. Oh, she did slap. At school the kids left her alone, just her with a microphone. Oh, how she used to make them laugh with glee. It did her pretty well under her funny spell. Above the being sent out in geography, but it wasn't me. We get beat down, but we get up. Oh, the road at times it's tough, but those little hints of life in between. Life and you have to be very quick. This is really nice for me because I get to be very overindulgent and sit down. It's really lovely to be able to sing nice notes, that kind of thing. As I said, the reason actually why I started picking up a ukulele, as I said, completely self-taught. I trained as an actor when I was 18 years of age. I went to Guildford School of Acting. Always, the whole way through my life, all I wanted to do was be on stage. I just wanted to make people happy, people smile, spread a good message, and let people know that actually life's not that serious sometimes. That was always something that I really wanted to do. And so I knew it was something that I should have picked up an instrument early on, and I don't know, maybe you will agree with that as well. Like sometimes I go like, I wish I'd learned piano when I was really, really young, that kind of thing, and it always annoyed me. And then I trained in musical theatre, so I moved to London at 21 to become a West End star. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the dream, but we can all dream. And one thing that they said to me, they said there's a thing called active musicianship, right? And they kept saying to me, I learned how to tap dance and that kind of thing. They said to me, oh, like, what instrument can you do you play? And I was like, I don't actually play one. And I realised something inside me was like, actually, there's no reason that I shouldn't pick up an instrument. It can feel very daunting, I think, sometimes to pick up an instrument, because it takes practice, doesn't it? And actually, putting in the hours and doing it that way can sometimes feel like a very long way away. So the ukulele, as I said, it's so accessible, and you can play a chord literally within like 2 minutes. Look at behind me. I've never had my name in lights before. This is very exciting. This is actually made of this is like material. I've decided after the show I'm going to make it into a sleeping bag. It's the perfect size, isn't it? And I can just sleep with my face and my favourite guitar chords. But no. So I decided after a while to learn ukulele, and I started writing parody songs. So using other people's melodies and chords and writing lyrics over the top. Do you write parody songs?
No, I have a friend that does.
Does it as well, yeah. So the first one I ever wrote, because I did a show at the Edinburgh Fringe called News Review, which is, ironically, a show all about the news. And it changes every single week, like what's going on in the news. So I wrote one to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but instead of that, I wrote Somewhere Post-Brexit Britain. So as you can imagine, it probably wasn't the same beautiful sentiment that was. I think there was quite a lot of FU's Theresa May in there. But after that, I thought, oh, okay, I like writing funny things. I find writing comedy quite interesting. That's actually how I got into stand-up, was through musical comedy. And I found that writing songs about current affairs or current ways of thinking was actually a really good way of connecting with other people. I think you can say a message, but then if you add music and a melody, the message gets a lot further. I'm going to try and sell this to Prime Ministers as well at some point. Just grab a ukulele and tell us everything. So I thought I'd play for you. This is the first song that I ever wrote as a musical comic and as a musician. And it's all about moving to London and becoming an actor. I'm one of a million actors waiting for something to take hold. Your big break is round the corner, girl. That's what I get told. Until that day arrives and you bet you'll be that it. Might I still need cash to feed myself and pay for those 7 pints I had last night? Most people I met at school now have a mortgage, even a kid. I'm not jealous of that life, but I could do with a couple of extra quid. Juggling a million jobs, forgetting to check my rota. Those nearly fired anecdotes of when I'm on grey and on the sofa. And I didn't choose the acting like chose me. I would pay the dent in my student loan for doing acting jobs for free. From call centre to restaurant, just above minimum wage. This actor's pretty glad of it when she ends up on the stage. Now I'm not trying to look for sympathy, this ain't a quote, it's me. Us actors, we like to moan a lot, it keeps our dignity. We always say we're gonna quit the this is for you all who are in the same little boat as me. Your time is round the corner, girl. Be who you want to be. But sometimes it's more practical to pick a career that pays proper money. Thank you. Cheers. I'm massively into folk. That's my vibe. Folk, anytime like sea shanty. Imagine it, we're down the pub and I'm telling a story and someone's got a fiddle out. I'm going, oh yeah, I'll join in. That's my foot stomping, have a good time. I'm first and foremost a poet and a lyricist. Again, as you can probably see, I mainly just play chords. Sometimes I finger pick, but that's truly because when I first started, I just wanted to get my lyrics and songs out there. So I thought that's the main part for me. And I think sometimes with singing songwriting, again, imposter syndrome, like you see something like, and I go, that's incredible. I wish I could do that. And I'm learning. But it's important for me to get my lyrics across first. So I always try and have, when I first started writing, as you can see, it's all about things that happened to me. And then I started going into other avenues of, okay, a lot of the stuff that I write about is what I see around me. And as a comic as well, what's relatable, that's a really important thing. How can people relate? There's one song I'm going to play for you now, which is the first time I included rap into my music. I'm sure you say, Abby, that suits me, down to the ground. You look like a rapper, that's why I'm wearing a tracksuit. But I wrote this song about British summertime. And it's the first song I wrote that I find I can replay. A lot of my songs would be like the Actors version. I wouldn't really sing that because it's sort of like, when I wrote it, I was like, oh, life's so hard. And then it was like, no, you chose to be an actor. You know, stop being so sorry for yourself. Like, it's your choice. I think that's a lot of things in life. I'm like, no, that's really hard. You know, as a comic, it's that's really hard to do. That's like, you literally put yourself in that situation. So you've got to deal with the punches. You know, you've got to deal with it. So this one I wrote is called, I keep going for a drink of water and then I don't. Talk much yourself. Does anyone write their own songs?
Granddaughter.
Oh, amazing. If you could write a song, right, let's just shout this out. Well, you can. Do you have a ukulele? You do? Okay. You are going to write one. Do you feel inspired yet? Yes. Okay, good. That's what we want. Okay, let's try. If you wanted to write a song, what would you write about?
Well, I have thought about even over this, so it's got to have something to do with buttercups.
Okay, love it.
Like a summer meadow.
Amazing.
Like summery vibe.
Perfect. So, talking about summer, you've got that's actually a good way of starting to write a song as well. Setting the scene. And then how could you could maybe use comparisons. I'm a trained teacher as well, you can hear my English. It's like comparisons, right, let's talk about it. Personification, the buttercup.
Yeah.
Thinking about the colour,
Yeah.
comparing it to the sun. Could it be that somebody in your life is like a buttercup to you?
Like
the light, exactly.
The vibrancy of
yeah. And also, something quite sweet about it would be, you know, like when you put it under your chin and it lights yellow, there could be something in that in terms of what someone does to you to make you feel that way.
Gives you a glow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Gives you a glow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Write it down quick.
Write it down. Write it down. That's beautiful. Exactly. So but then you've just got one thing, and then the more do you see? It's actually sometimes as well. It's just sitting down and doing it.
Yeah.
As performers as well, the hardest thing for me is sitting down for a long period of time. But as soon as you get into that moment of like, oh, okay, that leads on to that, and that leads on, and then the song sort of writes itself. Because you get so many more different ideas and how that could change into that. And then, right, you've got buttercup. Okay, what about I compare another person to another type of flower? Or who am I in that situation? You know, lying on the grass and looking up at the sky. And then there's lots of buttercups around you. So what does that mean about? Do you see?
Yeah. Well, I've just had our 30th anniversary with my husband, so it would be very fitting with the summer about like that glow that he makes me glow like that.
He makes you glow like that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
of applause. This is amazing. Should we try and write some? There you go.
I'll have to video it. I'll have to, if you do it again, I'll have to video it.
Something like, you're the butter to my cup, or something. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You're the butter to my cup. Something, look up.
You really shake me up.
Say again?
You really shake me
You
up.
really shake me up, right? Yeah!
I like that.
Let's do it a bit higher. You're the butter to my cup. You really shake me up. In the meadow. Oh, okay. So, you're the butter to my cup. You really shake me up. Sitting in the meadow, looking at the yellow sun. Nice. Okay, cool. Right. You're the butter to my cup. You really shake me up. Sitting in the meadow. What did I do for the last line? Something about the sun.
Light me up or something.
Sitting in the meadow. Sitting in the meadow. What did I say?
The sun, was it? The yellow, something like the yellow.
You really shake me up. Sitting in the meadow. You really yellow like the sun. Anyway, that's the beginning of it. There you go. I will write the chords down for you, and then you can learn it at home, and you can surprise your husband.
That would be
Love
so
that.
good. Oh my god.
And someone can record you sitting in a meadow. Okay, I'm getting carried away now. We can do a whole video. Oh, that's amazing. Round of applause. That's amazing. Oh, you're welcome. You know what the song? But can you see, it's just from one little bit, that you can sort of, and so many different ideas come from it. I'll do my one now, which is called Summertime. It's not as beautiful. But this is basically a song that I wrote about British summertime, and it's a song that I've very pleasantly been able to play it. It's my festival go-to, so I sing it. I've done it at Glastonbury, Reading, Leeds, Download. Download is it? I don't know if it's Download Festival. Download's in it's in Derby, isn't it Derby? Darlington. Donington. Oh, Donington Park, yes. It was a load of rockers, like, yeah. And I was like, this is a vibe, I love it. Yeah, it was very cool. So, here we go.
Would any of you do film it tonight? Video it or just open it?
Oh, you can go for it, yeah, absolutely. It's not the most, it's a funny one. Are you sure? Yeah, you can crack up, do whatever you like. This is your night, not mine. This one's for you, sunrise. So you see, it was a hot day, summer's day, beginning of June or the end of May. Looking out my window, feeling happy, it's gonna be a glorious day. We've been waiting 6 whole months for the sun to come down. Looks like summertime has just begun in Manchester town. So the first port of call we all must agree is what to put on. How about a cheeky 2-piece of belly top, or my mum told to roll. We never get this weather, so I've got nothing to wear. Fish out my crusty Birkenstocks, they're my only sandals in a pair. I look at my reflection in the mirror, oh no, I look like a ghostly spirit. This English rose complexion hasn't seen daylight for just 1 minute. My body looks like a pale corpse that's ready for the grave. But now I've realised something even worse, my legs have forgot to shave. We're always looking for the sun to shine. years back when, you know, every single time you go on the tube or you go on the train or something, like you see an advert like, "Are you beach body ready?" Like, yeah, because I have a body and I want to go to the beach. That's the sort of vibe that I had, and it's the first time ever that I've tried to write a song with a bit of a message. I'm very much love a message of positivity. So much so that some people want me to stop. Because I really think that we need a bit more positivity in the world. The world is a rubbish place outside at the moment. It is really terrible. So if I can just throw a glimmer of positivity and that you are enough and you are great, I'm absolutely happy with that. Even if I annoy people through it, I don't care, right? And so when COVID hit, that was another. I remember COVID was the first time I learned a song with the guitar as well, and it was one of the only saving things of the pandemic was having a bit more time, even though most of the time I just sat in my dressing gown watching Can't Pay Will Take It Away. But apart from that, I did get to learn a few songs now and again, and something quite beautiful happened during that time. So I lost all my income. I was on the dole. I had no idea what I was going to do, and then I applied to be a teaching assistant in a school, and realised that I had a bit of a knack with sort of connecting with kids, probably because I'm a massive child myself. But I also realised that in schools, the music in schools is dwindling, like absolutely dwindling, and it breaks my heart. And so I remember I trained as a primary school teacher, and I specialised in year 6, so I taught year 6 for 2 years. So not only was I singing, I got them through their stats. I was like, yeah. And it was honestly one of the best things I've ever done as a become a teacher. It's just opens your mind to so much more, and kids keep you young, and they're wild and eccentric, and it's like the best thing ever. And it upsets me that we lose that sometimes as adults. But that's one of the main things I noticed, was that no one liked to sing, and no one wanted to get up and do anything. And oh God, I'm not doing that. And I was like, why? Why don't you want to do it? So I ended up, like, at the end of the day, they used to just watch news round, and I was like, I know news is important, but I was like, why don't instead we all get up and have a sing song? And it started off with them being like, no, not doing that. And then by the end of it, their end of year play was just them all just going for it and having the best time. And it's something I will fight that good fight for as long as possible, to have better music in schools. Because there's no funding for it. I'm going on a TED Talk rant now, but it's true. They have no funding or anything like that, and they don't realise actually how important it is for children when they become adults, for that freedom of expression and writing things down, and everything's so tick boxy now. I remember when I was teaching writing, I was like, I don't know what to write about. I was just write. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, just write something down on the page, and something beautiful will come of it. So when I was teaching, I was still doing a bit of I still was doing stand-up, but it was very minimal, because when I trained to be a teacher, I was doing this wild thing where I was training to be a teacher 5 days a week. I was working in a restaurant 3 nights a week, and then I was gigging for the rest. I know, I was exhausted, kept me young. I'm actually 65. But then I did Britain's Got Talent last year. So if you saw it, great. If you didn't, I won. I didn't win. Didn't win. But it was something that sort of, I didn't chase it, it sort of came to me, and I just kind of was like, well, do you know what, I think I might be ready for this. I'd done enough sort of prep beforehand, I'd done a bit of telly here and a bit of something here, and I was like, oh, I've actually got the opportunity to do my music, because when I was a performer and stuff, I didn't write songs. I was like, now maybe it would come be a bit of a weird full circle if I go back and write a song that I'd written myself. And something just sort of came to me. The songs that I sang on the show, I'd never sang before. I wrote them for the show, which I know was a bit of a brave choice, because I'd not tested them on anyone, but I was like, I think it gave me a platform to write about something that as many people could connect with as possible, kids and adults, because they all watch the show, and loads of kids watch the show. So it brought me back to when I was teaching, and I had lunch with some 7-year-olds, and we ate lasagna off plastic plates with airplane cutlery, and I just remember sitting there, and they were so invested in like what they were going to be when they're older, but they were just so natural about it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be an astronaut. It was like, well, I'm going to be a footballer, so I won't be able to see you because you'll be in space and I'll be on the pitch. And it was just so like set in stone. I'm going to be these things. And then we become an adult, we just lose that whole, and it obviously, like, I was thinking about it, like, I couldn't really become an astronaut now because I don't have the qualifications, you know, I think that's something, but it's about having those dreams that you have as children and not letting them die out. So if you want to pick up a ukulele, pick up a ukulele. If you want to pick up a guitar, pick up a guitar. The world's not going to come crumbling around you if you sing a wrong note or play a wrong chord, you know, it's just about putting yourself out there. So this is a song I wrote called Kids Again. They say life is what you make it, your future's in your hands. When you're a kid at school, you plan out all these different plans. Do you ever have a birthday? Look at your past over your shoulder and say to yourself, I won't lie, but I thought things would be a bit different when I was older. When I was but a child, my teacher said, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be famous, sir, and have not one I learned but three. I said, I want to be an explorer, yes, miss, the world I want to see. But it's safe to say, these young dreams of mine weren't quite what they were meant to be. See, I thought I felt like an adult at the age of 21, but turns out a decade later, this feeling still ain't quite begun. I thought I'd be financially stable by the age of 25, but I'm well into my 30s and can just about keep myself alive. I thought I'd have a savings account at the age of 27, but any spare change I had in that's now in gas and electric heaven. I always want to be successful, you worked hard and took control. Turns out the new success in life is a folding kitchen roll. 2 rolls for a fiver, lady, and a laugh. You know, kids, their brains are the best in the bunch. Dream of winning the World Cup whilst having their lunch. Dreams of being a scientist and finding the answer, a singer, songwriter, a world famous dancer. I want to be an astronaut, I want to go to space, I want to be an athlete that missed on my race. I stand at the finish line and shout hooray. In my head, thinking I can Benedict count to 5k. Miss my dreams of racing car driving, well that's great, Dean. Mine's to do my shopping with a fiver. Yes, I'll be a nurse or chef or writer, can I do it? Yes, of course you can, if you put your mind to it. I wish I was a child again to let my dreams run free. So let us all be kids again, potato smilings for our team. Try and live our lives to the fullest in whatever we endeavour. Come on, let's face our childhood dreams together. You know, you can be what you want to be, whatever. 'Cause we won't be on the show forever. Thank you very much. I was just reminding me there when I was doing the show, they had to come into my school. They asked to come into my school and like sort of record me with the kids. So I'd written this song to like, you know, like the idea at the beginning, like, hi, I'm Abi. They wanted me to sing it instead. So I wrote this song and I was performing it. So all of my class, basically I'm going to tell you that I got absolutely mugged off by one of the kids in my class. Right? So they were all sat there. All the BGT people are in, the producers, there's like 6 cameras, and I'm up front, and so I start to play, and I forget the words, and they went, cut! This boy from the back, such a brilliant, sassy boy, just went, not your best, miss. Thank you so much, thank you. I was just like, that's amazing, not your best, miss. It's like, brilliant, that's so good. Writing my songs, bringing them on the show, actually, as they're sort of going back to the teaching thing, it created like a real buzz around my school, and every kid was like, I'm getting a ukulele for Christmas, this is like the best thing ever. This one's been a real hit in the school, they're like, oh my god, so shiny. And so I still teach, I teach music now, and when I did the semi-finals, again, I was like, oh, and this needs to be a platform to, again, send a message. And this actually comes from quite a funny story, well, actually a very funny story. When I was acting, it was one of my biggest roles today. I played Snow White in the pantomime of Snow White, leading role. And I sure you can imagine me in the bob, fairest of them all. She was not. But what happened was, I'd been cast as this part because the producer, she was a brilliant woman, and she was like, I want Snow White to be feisty. I want it to be like, yeah, I need this, great. So I was like, I can do that. That's me. Right, and as an actor, being in performing, you have to know what you can do. And you can also have to know what you probably won't be cast for. Like, I say that I have like a Lassie face. I can't do like the ingenue, like, because my face does this. And I'm okay with that, that's fine. But I'd get this job, and they're doing like the production shots for the show. And the next day, I get an email, when I'm sat in the pub having a pint, like all the princesses do. Of Guinness. Right. And I was sat in the pub and I got an email through, and it was from the choreographer, and it was CC'd all the creatives from the show, and it was like this long. And it basically said, thank you so much for all your hard work, but we've had a look back at the production shots, and your face just isn't what we perceive a princess to be. Right? A full email. Then they said, please see attached. Now, I don't know if you've ever received PDF attachments of your own face, balloon zoomed in, to go, this is what we mean. But it was the wildest experience of my life. And I sat, and I look back, and this is when I was about 25, 26, I sat in the pub and I cried. Now, I would run in there and be like, you what? But it sort of changed me, right? And I thought, that is, I remember that as like a real pinnacle moment of being like, I'm never going to let anyone else determine what I can be because of the way I look. Literally your face as well. They can't change that. That is literally yours forever, so you might as well own it, right? And I noticed this working in schools and all that kind of thing. I noticed that I work in primary schools, so the kids as young as 10 have come into me and said, I don't like my body, or I feel like this way or that way. And it breaks my heart every single time, because it's everything from media, TikTok, this and the other. They're just thrown into this mass of like, you need to change this, you need to change that. So I was like, right, I'm going to turn. I had this idea. I had it for ages. So this is called Modern Day Princess. So this is very self-explanatory, but this was my moment, standing on that stage and being like, screw you, choreographer. Can I say screw you? I don't know about it. No,
You've censored it, you know.
thank you. Something's on my mind, yeah. Something's in my head. Stories we've been told as kids, tales that we read. The idea of a fairy tale was expected of our lives. That without a boy to save us, so how could we survive? Now I look back at the stories of what was meant to be. Of lasses in tall towers just wanting to be free, but the world's really changing, and so these tales must too. I wonder what would these tales be like if they were me and you. I wonder what would these tales be like if they were me and you. Now Rapunzel lives in a tower of staying with a slightly overbearing mum, and all she kept on singing about was when will her prince come. Then her mate said, Rapunzel, you don't need a man to learn some skills that matter. So she took an online woodwork class and she built herself a ladder. She got down that tower all by herself, she did. Snow White said the line by running into 7 pretty decent blokes. They said, we'll forgo your end, you clean and cook the spoons on toast. So Snowy packed her bags and handed back the mop and bucket. She looked Grumpy dead in the eye and told him where to stuff it. After all, 7 pairs of hands are better than one. You know, princesses and princes come in every shape and skin. Not fitting in is standing out, so love that skin you're in. Don't let no one tell you different, don't let no one dull your light, and keep the real you shining bright. Now Cinderella didn't need a fella, she just wanted to go to the ball. Little mermaid stayed down in the sea, ignored her princess calls words. Sleeping Beauty stayed in bed for as long as she desired, because we're all aware that little self-care is very much required. Modern princesses everywhere, stand up and be inspired. You know, princesses and princes come in every shape and skin. Not fitting in is standing out, so love that skin you're in. Don't change yourself for anyone, just do what you adore. upbeat, all of them very upbeat. I've got a few, not depressing ones, but I think one of the things that I really noticed over, like, whether you like it or not, if you're a musician or things like that, social media is like a really good tool to get your stuff out there. So again, with the whole positivity thing, I try every day to be a pocket of social media that is just nice, because there's so much hate on that, and like I still don't understand how TikTok works. Like, it stresses me out so much. But something that I noticed was that through songs and messages, you actually end up helping. And if I had one person with a lyric or a song, that's my job done. And I've had people have messaged me before and said, "Oh, thank you, I really needed that today." And I'm like, if the power of one person's lyrics can do that, then just think about the lyrics that are in your head. I say this to the children that I teach as well. I always say to them, honestly, their eyes roll in their heads sometimes. They're like, "We should just give over." It's like 8:20 and she's on her second TED talk. But I say to them all the time, like, your voice is the only voice in the world that's yours. Your brain is the only brain in the world that's yours. No one else is alike. And it goes the same with singing. I know that singing, and it's fair enough, people go, "Oh, it's all very well for you to say because you're a singer." But I try and tell the people I teach, adults and children, when I teach singing, is that, like, it's just sort of speaking louder and a pitch. So it doesn't matter. Like, there are loads of kids that I teach go, "Oh, I don't want to sing a solo." And I said, honestly, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to sing a wrong note. Your voice is going to crack. Who cares? The earth's not going to come tumbling down if you sing something that wasn't supposed to happen. And I do, when I teach them how to do shows and things like that, just make it up. I know that's not the professional thing to do, but I say, if you're stuck on stage and you've forgotten what you're doing, make it up. It's not the be-all and end-all of life. There you go. See, is that what you do? Make it up. It never was a true word spoken. I've done monologues before on stage because I've forgotten what I was doing. But one of my absolute idols is Billy Bragg. He's like my king. And I saw him last year for the first time live at a festival, and I cried pretty much all the way through. His man turned around to me and was like, "You know every single lyric?" I was like, "Yeah," because he's literally amazing. And what Billy Bragg does, which I sort of aspire to do as well, he uses his own accent, which I think I love, and he has real big messages, political messages, but he does it in a way that he uses lyrics to sort of create, like, my favourite lyric, "Greetings to the New Brunette" is my favourite Billy Bragg song. "Living on Ice Cream and Chocolate Kisses," talking about summer, is one of my favourite lyrics that I've ever heard. And he has this ability to sing really powerful songs about how the world is suffering, but also can bring love and affection into the same world, and I think it's beautiful. So I guess this is sort of like the inspiration for this song that I wrote. This is called "Cost of Life." How could life have gone this way? My stack of bills I've got to pay are reaching higher and higher, and they just won't rest. Went to Tesco last weekend, left my club card at home, tried to pretend that I worked there, it didn't work, but I tried my very best. It's amazing how we have to rely on discount cards. A £10 note in a supermarket won't get us far. Looking in my basket, start to put things back. Cost of deodorant and rocket gave me a heart attack. Cause I might be poor, but I still try to be bougie. Don't have to worry about petrol prices, don't have a car to drive. Trains and buses and renting bikes, that's how I survive. I hope that in our lifetime we don't get more surprises. just one step away from being bold and brash. Sold my possessions on vinted, £8.61 in cash. To save a little extra, I considered powdered mash. Look, the yellow stickers are out, do the reduced salary dash. We are just one step away from putting up a fight. Had to call up a loan shark just from turning on a light. Got 87 jobs at once, but that will not suffice. Gotta think of a beautiful future. Maybe then we'll be alright. Will's a bit shit, isn't it? Sorry. Right, do you want to have a go at writing part of the song? Yes? Yes! Okay. I'm going to play the beginning bit, and then basically you'll work out what it is. It's like different professions. So I'll play the first bit, and then we can come up with one together and we'll tag it on to the end. No. Cool. If I was a baker, I'd bake a loaf of bread. I'd bake you a loaf that was bigger than my head. I'd cover it in flour and sugar and spice, and I'd give it to you. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? And if I was an artist, I'd paint you the sky with the leaves and the trees and the stars in their eyes. I'd paint you an ocean with a sea that's so blue, and maybe some swimming, or maybe I'll paint too. But I'm not an artist, and I'm no good with a brush. But to make someone stay, you know it doesn't take much. You can make them a coffee, tell a song, tell a joke. Make them eggs in the morning with a bright yellow yolk. Make them eggs in the morning with a bright yellow yolk. Make them eggs in the morning with a bright yellow yolk. So, yesterday we had politicians, so that's veto, because basically by the end of it I want to write a whole song with everyone's things. That was really high. I thought I was switching it. Okay, so if I was a what?
Zookeeper.
Love it. Not many syllables too. If I was a zookeeper, I'd... What would you say the theme of the thing is? If I were something, I'd do this for you. If I was a zookeeper, I'd...
Keep you in a cage.
Okay, so we've got, if I were a zookeeper, I'd keep you in a cage. I'm here for it.
Was there some rage involved in that?
Yes. If I were a zookeeper, I'd free you from your cage.
Okay.
Shall we do free? Well, no, we'll free you from your cage or keep you in a cage?
I'll keep it.
Okay.
Free!
If I was a zookeeper, I'd keep, we'll do it. If I were a zookeeper, I'd keep you in the cage. I'd
Feed you bad bananas.
I'd feed you bad bananas. And then so it needs to rhyme with cage.
Keep you in a rage.
And keep you in a rage. I'm here for it. Okay, you need to sing with me. You going to sing with me?
Yeah.
You look really important.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You have to remind us of the words.
Yeah, I'll have to remind myself of the words too. So let's do it slowly. If I were a zookeeper, I'd keep you in a cage. I'd feed you bad bananas and keep you in a rage. I'd let you out on Sundays. This is getting really... Okay, let's do it.
Play you some dance music. So they're in the cage, you can have that.
Okay. Okay. I build you a disco. I build you a disco and I build you a disco with lots of pretty lights. So actually your cage would be an absolute delight. Smashed it.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can remember it. I love this one so much. See, you can literally write a song about anything. It's beautiful.
Inspiring.
It is inspiring. If I were a zookeeper, I'd keep you in a cage. I'd feed you bad bananas and keep disco. 5, 6, I build you a disco with lots of pretty lights and play lovely music. Oh, and your cage, yeah, and your cage would be an absolute delight. Round of applause. Well done. I love it. Turned it on its head. Cool. I would open the floor. Have anyone got any questions or anything like that? Hello.
Hello. It happened earlier on when you're writing a song and you get a really good idea and then something happens and then it just vanishes away. It's such a frustration.
I agree.
And you can never quite get that back. I don't know if you have any
do.
ways of
Actually, something
doing
that's, it's the same being a comedian as well. There's things that happen during the day and you go, oh, that would be great, and then you go back to think about it and you're like, I've absolutely no idea, but I knew that would be a good bit. Actually, if you've got a phone or anything like that, or keep, I know lots of comics keep like a tiny little booklet, like a little tiny little notepad just in your pocket or something like that, and just you get any type of idea, write it down. I use something, I have an iPhone, but it's called Freeform, and it doesn't, you basically just add sticky notes. So I have like loads of sticky notes on my phone that just have like one word. And then sometimes that doesn't work either, because then you go, oh, what does zookeeper mean? And then you can't remember what it is. But I would say just always I have like 20,000 different notebooks and I just keep them everywhere. And so if you just have an idea, just scribble it down and then come back to it later. Because it's really annoying, you have such a beautiful idea of a lyric or something like that. And it is nice as well to have something that you can look back on and go, what on earth was that? Which happens, especially in the comedy world, I go, this is going to be great. And you're like, no. But yeah, I would just say just keep writing everything down. Notes on a phone is like a godsend, I would say. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you're all inspired to write something. I'm looking forward to hearing the Buttercup song.